Forest Rising is a youth-led programme which supports the delivery of the Plymouth and South Devon Community Forest. It consists of 3 parts. It's led by a youth forum who oversee kind of a wider network which bring young people into the programme to give them kind of the basic skills and experience of actually getting involved in creating a community forest. Plymouth City Council is the lead partner. We want to engage as many people to generate as many benefits as possible.
A lot of the time when we hear a forest, we're thinking about one space, one woodlands, but a community forest, it's parcels of woodlands interconnected throughout South Devon and Plymouth as a city. So that's what we're trying to create, to increase people's opportunities to access trees and access nature spaces. We developed Forest Rising as a way of empowering young people in the city to make choices and be part of the change that's happening.
We commissioned Real Ideas to work with young people to develop the idea, and then they created a series of workshops with those young people to look at what they might want. It's evolved from that process and it's become much more self-sustaining, but I think it was really important in the early days that it wasn't just the community forest asking directly, it gave a little bit of space for that conversation. One of our initial ambitions was to make sure that children and young people were at the heart of this forest because it's their future, and they've designed the programme. So we've got the Youth Forum, which is where the decisions are made and where the direction's set by the young people. We've got the network, which is for everyone to keep in contact with what's happening. And then we have the cohort workshops, and those are opportunities for those young people to come together and actually do everything from collecting seed, planting seeds, growing the trees, to looking after those trees later.
We do a lot of our Forest Rising activities at Pool Farm, which is a community farm owned by the council. The spirit of the farm really is getting young people involved, so it really is the perfect place to get the Forest Risers engaged in what we're doing.
I'm here as part of Forest Rising whilst I'm on a placement at Pool Farm. We've done some seed processing and finding of the seeds and looked around the forest nursery, and we're learning all about tree planting. We've done some landscape design stuff and looking at where to plant trees, like right tree, right place. There's storage at both the top and the bottom. It does look like we're in the middle of nowhere, but there's a housing estate right there. It's really cool to have something so within a city that will support wildlife and species. Yeah, I think it's really special to be able to have nature on your doorstep for everyone.
This is my 4th afternoon with Forest Rising for the winter cohort. Just seems like a really great opportunity to get involved with things to help the environment and to learn more about what I can do. These little areas where there are standard trees in the middle with some smaller shrubs and stuff around to protect them, and we're just clearing those out, making sure the trees are healthy, doing some aftercare, remulching some areas, doing a bit of like weeding. It's super cool to learn about it, but then when you put that into practice, that's the way you really solidify the learning, and it feels like you're actually making a difference as well.
You learn communication skills through planting trees and working in nature. You learn teamwork. You learn many of the life skills that actually employers are looking for, and it can allow people to thrive.
Some of the Forest Risers have gone on to work at the council and do ranger apprenticeships and do some work experience with other projects, and it's just really nice to see their personal development, but also as a group how they've managed to grow Forest Rising beyond just the winter cohort.
It's cool to meet people from like different backgrounds that are interested in this sort of thing, definitely. And sharing ideas is promoted, and building a generation that really care about nature and the outside world is crucial.
To be able to look at a place and see what that could become and have multi-uses, if we can then over the course of our lives be able to put that into practice, I think that's a really important skill to be able to learn.
This group are potentially the future leaders of the community forest, so career ambitions, skills, training, the young people who are participating can see that that's an opportunity that's there. We need that. We know we need more people working in this profession if we're going to genuinely deal with some of the challenges we've got related to the climate and the environment.
Young people have lots of ideas and are able to think quite creatively and think quite out of the box. Maybe some people, because they've been in the same system for so long, maybe don't have the same outlook.
They have a lot of ideas, but not all of them can be delivered. It depends on what budget you have, but that's also part of learning project management, kind of working with the constraints and opportunities that you have, and just being able to guide that can be challenging, but also really beneficial.
You've got to accept a little bit of risk because you're giving that autonomy to young people to kind of come into that space and tell you what they need. So having those trusted relationships and those really strong partnerships is really important in that space.
One of the key ingredients is patience and commitment to doing it, and not having a preset idea about what you're thinking about doing. I think it will evolve differently in your place with your young people, and I think that's the glory of it. It's part of a conversation, but it does take a little bit of time.
And then you push it up so it exposes the area.
A community forest is about being able to affect our futures and make a change, and doing that gives you a sense of agency and a sense of belonging. Forest Rising has particularly made that impact at the board level. It's allowed us to think about how we communicate and how do we get a real sense of belonging of this forest from our wider citizens.
The two key words which I've seen come out of the Forest Rising programme which led into that conversation were about hope and about community. That sense of hope is so important in terms of what we're trying to deliver in the city, because you see all those individual people, all with that passion and developing their values, developing that community, and kind of keep building the momentum and the movement that we've started.
The work we're doing today will last for generations, and maybe I'll come back one day and see the trees we've planted and be able to say, I planted that.